I'm actually laid up with a bad back at the moment. So I thought what I'm going to do, instead of doing nothing, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. And that's go on to the comments of her Netflix trailer and sort of give you my honest opinion, scrolling down. So I'm obviously going to show them because these are on the public domain. So yeah, you're going to see my comments in there as well. There you see, there it is. So yeah, so this is usually the case when when there is something especially this controversial that somebody always puts this type of comment in, is who's or someone will put something like I broke my leg running to the comments, and that always tickles me. I always find it funny. But yeah, but just like it's just so funny. So this is my comment just for people to read. um because I had to put my my little comment in. I do wonder if Netflix has done something though, because I only got 8 likes. Should have got more, but anyway. Um, so I wonder how the Parents Network feels about her having Chrissy Teigen. Yeah, and you know that is the biggest thing, isn't it? It's like Chrissy Teigen, who has publicly bullied people. She has said very, very controversial things. She is behaved appallingly towards a young girl who, yeah, well, she said what she said, and we all know what that is. And plus the fact she said some very, very questionable things when it comes to children. So, and yet she has her on, and but I think it's like attracts like. I don't think they're friends, but it's almost like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I mean, at the end of the day, what does Chrissy Teigen do? She doesn't really do anything, does she? So I think Meghan is just desperate to have people on, and these people will just go on for the fact that they're on television and will just get some attention. It's the same sort of thing. The only entertaining we're getting out of this show is the comment section, which is very, very true. And I wonder if, well, I think they will. I wonder if they're going to leave the comment section open. And I love it because the thing is, when you have celebrities on and those celebrities also don't close off their comments, that's what people will do. They will, if they cannot comment on, say, her Instagram, they will go to the person that she's interacted with, and they will comment on theirs, and that is the nature of this. When you have created so much outrage and so much anger within people, if people don't have an outlet for that, they will find it in some other way. And in some sense that's healthy, because the best thing to do is to get it out. But this is what happens. I mean, this in a way shows that Meghan doesn't really care, because you know, it's like when I've had people that want to collaborate with me, I've said no, purely and simply because with the trolling that happened. Now, I'm not saying that people troll Meghan. I mean, I'm sure she gets some, but pretty much most people are just airing how they feel. Whereas there is a big difference between that and trolling, which is what the royal family go through. But the reason I never had people to collaborate, because the minute they did and the minute they advertised collaborating with me on their channel, they got a lot of attacks. And I don't want that for somebody. You know, I care about people. I don't want people to go through that. But Meghan doesn't. So the fact that unless Chrissy Teigen shuts off the her comments when this goes up, she's probably gonna find that a lot of people that don't like Meghan are gonna go across to hers and have their say. So Princess Catherine is surrounded by friends and family on both sides. She shows up lovingly, publicly, and voluntary to bring enormous joy to many. And that's so true. That's so true. I mean, we know that her fan base attack the royals. We know that. We've seen it. But this is so true. I mean, Catherine is incredibly selfless. Yes, okay, it's a job. She gets, you know, a lot of nice things with doing that job, but she doesn't have to try. And that's the thing. When you're a genuine nice person, you don't have to try. You just are. And it shows. With Meghan, unfortunately, she tries too hard to mimic being a nice person, and it just comes across as disingenuous. And we see through it. Netflix putting up with cookies and flower sprinkles while waiting for the divorce documentary to drop. That's exactly what they're doing. This first rights look at things is absolutely, you know, that they've had a conversation where she's been like, well, you know what, if you stick with us, when I divorce my ginger whinging husband, I will give you first refusal, obviously for the right amount of money. You just know it. Hey Megan, Chrissy's way of showing up lovingly was telling vulnerable girl, well, yeah, here we are, vulnerable girl on the internet to take a dirt nap, and disturbing tweets about children. You know what they say, you are the company you keep, and there you go. Exactly that. Exactly that. Megan wants people to tell the truth, so here we are. Yeah, Megan, you know, we're all telling the truth. Netflix, good to know you elevate bullies. Megan, you know, I mean, look, it's true that they are, but I think Netflix don't care. Oh, excuse me, yawning. Oh, I've not been sleeping right because of my back. Oh, it's been horrendous. And part of the reason why I'm not on camera is because I'm the only position I can get that's comfortable is laying on my bed, and laying flat on my bed, should I say. So yeah, so I'm really, really hoping that this gets better. It is definitely better. A lovely friend of mine bought me a heat pad for my back, and that's helped massively. So I'm really, really hoping, because I really want to do a review of her first episode for well, season 2. It's season 1 part 2. That's what I'm saying. Netflix should cancel the episode with Chrissy Teigen, as she's the ultimate cyberbully. I mean, yeah, but they don't care. It's a business. They generally don't care, because that's the thing, is that they know. I mean, you've only got to look at the trailer views. I mean, it's not great in comparison to when you see other things that have been viewed for millions of times, but there's still nearly, you know, just under 500,000 views. So Netflix knows that even if you don't like her, that, you know, you're going to view. It's like when I view her, thankfully I have found a way to view her series without going on Netflix. It's like I've found a way. But, you know, a lot of people will watch because they're reviewing her, to critique her even. That's still giving Netflix a view. They're still lining her pocket. So don't do it. Find another way. There are ways to do it. Obviously, I can't say it because they will probably frown upon it. But anyway, so it's really something to hear Markle talk about showing people you care and ways to show up lovingly after she, one, ghosted and humiliated a sick elderly father before the entire world for taking one pap photo when she herself has done the same a great many times. Very true. Two, cruelly bullied her staff in the USA and UK, according to exposés in the Time of London, Vanity Fair, and the Hollywood Reporter. Jason Canalfi, who managed the UK office, documented her mistreatment of staff, noting that the two women were driven to quit by her abuse. Attacked the royal family with public smears and false charges of racism on Netflix with Oprah and elsewhere. That Prince Philip was literally in his last days, drew no sympathy from her, and the Oprah smear job went on a scheduled. Queen Elizabeth's last years were made miserable by the attack by this woman and her husband Harry. No doubt the Queen died distressed that their smears and false claims of racism would destroy her life's work. What absolute disgrace that she has the goal to masquerade as this loving person, smiling and hugging people she hardly knows for a TV show. And there you go. Yeah, you know, and this is apsulate. What is apsulate? Ah, absolutely. Do you know what I was trying to say? Absolutely, and is it encapsulates? And I come up with apsulate. That's a new word now, people. Apsulate. Yeah, it encapsulates everything that I've said, other people have said. You know, this woman that comes on and talks about togetherness, family, bringing people together, and yet she has behaved appallingly to her own elderly father who was sick. And the fact that let it play out on the public world stage, also slating him for this pap shot, when all he was trying to do is to create himself look better, bless him. Now, I understand that some people think that the Markles are in on it. I mean, I genuinely don't, because the amount of hatred they've received, the amount of bullying, the way that they've been hauled across the media, yeah, I just don't believe it at all. Uh, but yeah, the way she's treated her family, the way both him and her have treated the royal family, it's disgusting. But this is the way the world is now. We celebrate people who behave appallingly and in a way condemn people that are good. You've only got to look at the way things are viewed on social media, the mainstream media. Excuses are given for people that behave appallingly, and they're held on a pedestal a lot of the time, and good people not so much. This is what the world gets when parents tell their children how special they are simply for breathing. Yeah, and again, I've said this before, the one of the many reasons why Meghan is the way that she is unfortunately due to being spoilt by her father. Now, I'm not saying that Thomas is responsible for Meghan's complete behavior, because at the end of the day, she's an adult and she's very much aware what right is right and wrong is wrong. But this is where it started, unfortunately. I think he made excuses. I think he overcompensated for the lack of Doria, and she's responsible as well for this lack of parenting. Don't get me wrong; she's in there. It's not all Thomas Markle's doing. But then there comes a point when you're an adult, even if you display behaviors, we've all been in situations where we either know somebody or we've done it ourselves, or we've behaved probably quite appallingly as children. But then as we grow up, that's the whole point of it. We grow up emotionally and we change our behavior. We no longer want to go out of our way to hurt other people. Whereas when we're young, we don't see it as that. We see it, it's just like, oh, I'm going to get my own back, or I'm right and I'm going to prove I'm right. It doesn't matter, those type of things. As an adult, we come at this in very differently. You have to. Meghan doesn't, and this is why she is a narcissist, and Harry doesn't, because he's got arrested development due to the amount of intake of alcohol and drugs, and in my opinion, and his male chauvinistic behavior is very, very apparent, and his immature behavior is very, very apparent. He's reactionary, doesn't take a moment to think about what he's doing or saying. He just reacts in anger. And yeah, so this is these two. It's yeah. Minute Netflix, you wouldn't have Meghan on your show if she weren't married to Harry. I mean, yeah, I've said this. We've all said this. It's so very true, because if that was the case, then why did they not clamber to have her before she even married Harry? Nobody was interested in her. No Oprah, no Ellen, no Spotify, no Netflix. Nobody was interested in her, which is why she was coming over to the UK, because she thought she could be a big deal over here. And the obviously reason was that she ended up marrying the Dimbo Prince. So Meghan's ability to turn very ordinary things almost everyone on earth does daily into some self-congratulatory achievement worthy of Nobel Prize is unrivaled. Yeah, I would say that. I would say she's very good at that. She's very good at taking flower sprinkles and in a way making it that this is almost like her creation. Because was it on the Drew Barrymore show or an interview or somewhere where she spoke about the flower sprinkles and was like, who knew that just this little tiny thing would become so huge? It's like, they've been around forever. People have been using flowers as garnishes, as edible flowers, all of those things. I think we should be very watchful, though, and mindful of the fact that there are poisonous flowers. So I think I wouldn't be eating anything Meghan Markle serves up in the way of flowers. Just saying. One thing she can make claim to is she has one of the few celebrity figures. She is one of get this right, Emma. She has to be one of the few celebrity figures in the world who is so talentless, fake, and obviously fame-driven that can make her output impossible to even hate watch. I literally could not even get through one episode of this BS. Yes. Yeah, trust me, I know that feeling. One episode. I mean, I did one review episode for you guys, and yes, you really did like it, and it did blow up in my views, I have to be honest. And you'd think if I was that way inclined, I would have cottoned on to that and been like, oh, you know what, I got a lot of views from that, so I'm going to do them more. But it's so unbearable. It is so unbearable watching her. It's like nails down a chalkboard for me. It's like it's so difficult because it's like saccharine. She is so fake I don't do fake. You know, I understand it in my job, but at the end of the day, she's not my client. I'm just sitting here watching this as, you know, a normal person, not in my job, although I do reflect on that. But she is just so nauseating. Um, it is, yeah, it's stomach churning watching her because of how I feel the anger and frustration because I feel that it's because I mean I see in comments where people say things like you need to stop talking about her, and I think these people need to understand it's not that I talk about what me talking about her that's the problem, it's the mainstream media. And this is the issue that I have when someone that's done what she's done is being given a platform to do it all the more. We know what she's done, we know what she's capable of, but the mainstream media seem to keep elevating her. Like I've said before, the fact that she's a member of the royal family means that she gets talked about more, whereas if she was just a normal celebrity, people would not be that interested in her, purely and simply because, well, when the Kardashians do something, they're not on the front page news, especially not in the UK. So you know, they post on their Instagram and it doesn't make the headlines. Whereas with Meghan, every time she puts something out, it makes the headlines because she's connected to the royal family. And this is what the royal family need to do. They need to remove that connection. I mean, it's going to always be there slightly, but even like now when Sarah Ferguson does things, it's not front page news unless it's something serious. But for the most part, that when she releases a book, yes, it gets talked about, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And that's kind of what we need for Meghan. It's like we need to have it stop where she's milking this royal connection. So every time she does something, it becomes front page news. Meghan season 2. It's funny you call me Sussex. You know I'm Her Royal Highness. Oh God, don't give her ideas. Yeah, more about Chrissy Teigen. Don't miss a very beige Christmas with Meghan and a bunch of superficial friends of convenience. She'll have Daniel. Let's not forget Daniel, who, as I've said, will go to the opening of a paper bag if Meghan was the one opening the bag. This sycophantic makeup artist, and probably the only reason that Meghan has him still is probably because he does it for free. He doesn't charge her. So he gets like a little bit of fame from being attached to Meghan, but he's very much like a lapdog. Like I said, because there's absolutely no way they're friends, because she didn't know he was left-handed, she didn't know he was allergic to or didn't like tomatoes. She wasn't sure if he was allergic to peanuts, but still thought about putting peanut pretzels in a bag anyway, just in case. But as long as I label it, it's fine. You just couldn't, yeah. It's like, you're not friends. We're not stupid. But yeah, a very beige Christmas. And how do you have a family Christmas, but then only have apparently Harry on at the very end? It's not really a family Christmas because Harry has to be the token gesture, because it's like she's got to reel him out. She might as well just have like a cardboard cutout and just have him there in the background. Look, there's Harry. That is really him. I love the idea of spending time with people and finding new ways to show people you care, and as long as those people are not her family, her husband, her old friends. She doesn't have any, though. I don't believe, like I said before, I don't believe her and Harry live together. I think he's just reeled out for the odd occasion. We know my feelings on the children, and she doesn't really have any friends except Abigail Spencer and Daniel. I reckon Mindy won't make an appearance after that last debacle. You can call me, you should call me Sussex now. Yeah. So yes, what we really need are lessons in showing people you care and how to show up lovingly for a woman who's completely estranged from her father, siblings, extended family, and in-laws, and whose husband has become completely estranged from his entire family since marrying her, and who has notoriously frozen out numerous people she called friends when they were no longer useful to her, and who is the focus of bullying allegations from sources on the 2 continents. Thanks, Netflix, for your unparalleled talent spotting. Yeah, more again. I mean, but yeah, I mean, she's Chrissy Teigen. I think is just as disliked. Maybe I think Meghan maybe tops her a bit, but yeah, she's just as disliked. The lack of basic cooking hygiene from both Meghan and her guests is appalling. I was wondering if any of her cult fan base. No, I haven't seen anything from her cult fan base yet. So yeah, they even maybe even they're getting tired of it. Netflix, by now you know what Chrissy Teigen is from the comments. If you have any integrity, you'll pull this show before being aired. They won't. They don't care. Thank you, Netflix, for finding something to do with all the scrap footage that was deemed insufficient to put in season 1. This is called Leftover Season. Yeah, that's a good title. The Leftover Season. I might use that. Thank you, Pam. Pam. Ramble. Need my glasses on. The irony of Meghan Markle constantly crying racism and using the accusation as a shield against valid criticism, yet she doesn't have a single black guest on her show or an actual close black friend in her personal life. True. She doesn't. She doesn't. And I think she's never dated a black person either, I think. That's true. When I heard the comment section was open, I had to run right over. Why doesn't Meghan realise she is hated not only in America, but all over the world because of how she treats people, in my opinion? Yeah, true. Very true. If she's trying to fix her branding, inviting Trissy Keegan was a terrible... Tegan was a terrible casting decision. Yeah, true. But like I say, I mean, she's not popular either. So it's oh, I can give you 5 minutes on my show if you just come along and pretend to be one of my friends. I would almost give anything to bring Joan. Oh, can you imagine Joan Rivers? Oh, she would be ripping into Meghan. She really would. I don't think she would like her at all. Not only does she bring in a makeup artist again, but she also has brought in a Pilates instructor this time. So much for celebrity guests. She also brought the chef who was in charge of her wedding banquet. Bouquet? For fuck's sake, Emma, get your glasses on. In 2018, I'm shocked she didn't include a nanny and gardener. So true. So true. Netflix throwing all morality overboard just to hold on to Markle in case of a divorce. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think we know that's what's happening. It's the only thing I can think of. The only other thing is that that I possibly consider is that she has schmoozed Ted Sarandos enough to sort of get a stay of execution, if you like, which is what I feel like this is. It's like that, isn't it? It's we're not going to quite throw you to out to dry. We'll keep you on just in case. Yeah, I do wonder if and I think that, you know what, the other thing I think of as well, which really disgusts me, is I do wonder if they've mentioned the Diana documentary. So there's been rumors of the Diana documentary that they're supposed to be doing, these two. And I really, 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 really hope that gets put a stop to, because I think that would be the lowest of the low if we then get the fact, because we all know it's not just about Harry lovingly doing something to honour his mother. We know why they're doing it. They would do it because they know that Netflix would get the views, and Netflix wants that. So if they've promised this Diana documentary, I think that would be disgusting. But the other thing as well is I don't know who. And you know what? That makes sense. I wonder if that's why he's kind of grooming Diana's family, like Spencer's. Because before all this happened, we hardly ever saw anything about the Spencers. So I wonder if this is the reason why Meghan and Harry have been like trying to really reel in the Spencer family. Like, you know, we want to call ourselves Spencer now. And I wonder if that's part to do with it, because they're hoping that they will talk about Diana, and they'll be the ones that will be involved in the documentary. Because they'll know that they won't be able to get anything from, you know, his father's side. So they're going to interview potentially her brother, her other members of the family. That would be disgusting, but that makes perfect sense to me now. I feel like I've just had a light bulb moment. I think I might have to do a video on that, because I think that's a thing.
From having the Clooney, Beckham's, Oprah's guest to Trissy Keegan. Oh my God, I've done it again. For goodness sake, Chrissy Teigen. Yeah, this is so true, isn't it? I mean, when you, but this is the thing, is these are the people that were involved before they knew her. Once they get to, I mean, let's be honest, Oprah was only ever interested because she wanted that interview. She didn't care. So and I think that's why she got Tyler Perry to open the mansion to them. It's like, give them what they want. I want this interview. Give them what they want. And I definitely think that's what she's, oh, excuse me a second. Oh, my back. Whew, just twinged. Okay. So yeah, so I think that's what she's done. Whereas now she's got that, the backlash was horrendous. She realizes now that she's alienated the royal family now, so she's never going to get an invite to anything now, whereas she would have done possibly before. So that would have annoyed her. So this is why I think that she doesn't have any interest whatsoever in Meghan. And anyone else has realised what Meghan and Harry have done, and so they've alienated themselves from so many people. The Hollywood elite have got zero interest in Meghan, and that will infuriate her, because that was the key. That was the thing that she wanted. Please do the thing where you interrupt someone in the middle of a sentence to tell her you are Sussex now, even though you slandered the family who bestowed the title, which the family would now have to pry out of your cold, dead fingers, even though you are American. People whom titles are meaningless and never bother to pursue British citizenship. Isn't it? Very true. Cutting bread, full body chills. No, we will not be calling her that. It's Meghan Markle, not Sussex. This is what I mean. This is what annoys me. It's like, if you don't like her, I get that. I don't like her. But don't endorse what she's doing. Don't call her that. I refuse to call her that name. She is Meghan Markle. She will never, ever be a duchess to me. She will never, ever be. It's like, I probably have like the strong feelings that sometimes people have where Camilla's, I mean, I saw it when I did the video on Camilla. I saw people like, Camilla's not my queen. I get that. I respect people's decisions. So this is the same for me. It's like Meghan, she is not a duchess to me. She is not Meghan, my county. She is Meghan Markle, grifter. That's it. That's it. The power of yet compels you to watch literally anything but this show. Yeah, even that she stole. Oh, someone decides to speed up the road. The power of yet. Oh, never anything so ridiculous. You don't need to keep saying you care for other people, just like you don't need to keep saying you're authentic. You're either are or you're not. Yep, very true. Why are you hiding dislikes, Netflix? And that, yeah, they did, because I saw a video where somebody put up the thing and showed how many dislikes there were, and there were thousands and thousands and thousands of dislikes in comparison to the few likes that they got. They've now hidden them, so people can't see them now. But there was a lot. I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dislikes, and only like a few thousand likes. The comments are more honest and authentic than the trailer. Yeah. Every guest seems to have a show of their own on Netflix. Megamaniac obviously has zero actual friends left. If Netflix is stupid enough to give this woman a Christmas special when she has ghosted her and has no Paul's entire family, then they've lost the plot. I guess it's all about money. That's all it is. They just believe people are going to tune in. And it doesn't matter to them that you tune in to critique her, you hate watch, whatever it is. They don't care. They don't care. This was done as a dig at Catherine. I will swear by that she has created this because she knows that Catherine has the Christmas Carol concert. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not even in the stratosphere. It's no way to compare, because one is about the people, one is about others, it's about giving back, it's charity, it's lovely, it's wholesome. It's godly, whereas Meghan is just herself. It's about herself and how she comes across, and that's literally it. So it's not even in the same ballpark, stratosphere, planet, universe, whatever as Catherine. But Meghan doesn't care about that, because Meghan, one of her obsessions, which is very standard with narcissists, is they want to still know they can affect somebody. Like she still does the thing with Trevor. I still think like she likes to
believe that she can, affect Trevor at certain points. Of course, I don't believe that's true. He probably doesn't even think twice about her anymore. He's got a beautiful wife, beautiful family, and he's fine. But she doesn't. That's not how narcissists think. They think that they are the be all and end all as a person, that everyone covets them. So that's why when they get rejected, they don't handle it well at all, because they don't understand how you could possibly reject them. So this is why we have this narc revenge. And her jealousy and obsession with Catherine knows no bounds. It's scary, in my opinion. It's psychopathic, in my opinion. So the fact that she has done this is just to say, I want to affect her. I believe I can. So that's why I think when she does it, she's either going to do it, as I said in a previous video, she's either going to do it around the same time, because she'll believe that she'll knock it off its axis in a way, or she'll do it literally straight after, so Catherine doesn't get a chance to shine. She'll believe that she can then knock her off her spot, in it, so to speak. The problem you have there is it's the mainstream media that are to blame for this, because if they didn't print anything, then Meghan could do what she wanted and no one would care. If they were, especially our British media, if they were loyal to our monarchy, then they would be like, you know what, you left, we're not talking about you, we're going to focus on the good that Catherine does. But they don't, and there lies the problem. It's not really, I'm not saying it's not Meghan's fault, because it is, of course, because she's the one doing it, but it is the mainstream media, because without them, she wouldn't get any coverage. She could do what she wanted and no one would know about it. No one would care, apart from her sycophantic fan base and a few little Instagram followers, genuine ones that she's got, because she is buying her followers on Instagram. They are going up exponentially, literally in days. It's like, I think she's buying them all the time, because again, she wants to compete with the royal family. She will want to eclipse the royal family in her followers. So she's buying followers, because you do not jump, especially when you look at her as ever brand, it's less than 1 million. So most people, when they follow somebody, if they're a fan, they follow their brand. So if they endorse something, people tend to follow it, and a lot of the time buy it. When you have less than 1 million followers on your as ever on Instagram, but suddenly you jump from, less than 1 million, so then a week or so later to 2 million, and then, a few months later, you're like 2.5 million, then it's 3 million, then it's 4 million. It's like, come on. Most of the surge is usually in the beginning. It doesn't happen later on, unless people don't really know about you and suddenly they find out about you and they really want to follow you. There is a trickle effect. Somebody you can grow in followers as a trickle effect, but you don't jump, hundreds of thousands of followers overnight. It just doesn't happen unless you're buying them. And I think absolutely, and if you look at a lot of her followers, you can absolutely tell by going on the account that they're bot accounts, or they're what we call astroturfing accounts. So there's a genuine people that are literally put on, that are bought to go on there to make it look like they're genuine. So yeah, she's not well liked at all. And I think you can see just by, honestly, go on and look at these comments, because they do not disappoint. And I love the fact, in a way, that I think it shows, because Netflix has left these up. And I think that this shows. I don't think Meghan is going to be happy about this at all. But I think, like I say, I think Netflix is just being strategic. It knows that people are going to come across here. But, that's why I've done this today. But the minute, obviously, her show goes up, I will be doing a review, trying to do it in the best way I can. I know that some people got frustrated because I couldn't show the full thing. But, I don't understand why people would want to watch it anyway. But at the end of the day, it's, unfortunately, there's copyright strikes. So I will try and do it in some ways, but like I said, people need to please remember that I'm not particularly great at the moment with my back, so I'm going to try and do it the best way I possibly can for you. But yeah, I will review the first episode, and if you then want more of that, I will suffer it for all of you, because that's what I do here for you guys. Daniel was there again. He can again contribute to conversations and highlights like, that's awesome. Ooh, yes, delicious. Oh, Oh, yeah. I mean, this, yeah, it's great. Yeah. So that being said, I will see you when I do the first review, guys. And as always, as you know, don't forget to like, subscribe if you do not want to miss future uploads. I apologize. This is slightly different and you're not seeing my face, but yeah, here we are. Anyway, so as always, I love you. I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye.